Hello friends, my name is Dilip. I hope you are all doing good. By end of this video, you will learn about the introduction to the subject called as indirect taxes. Then what do you mean by tax? What are the different types of taxes and the features of indirect taxes? With this brief introduction of this video, let me straight away start our discussion. Now, before our discussion, let me just introduce myself to you all. I am CA Dilip Raj Purohit. I am a practicing chartered accountant in Bangalore, and I also teach indirect taxes to different levels of CA, CS and CMA students. I am a visiting faculty at various institutes in Bangalore where I take live classes, including the Bangalore branch of ICAI. I also teach indirect taxes to both CA and CA intermediate and final level at the Bangalore branch of ICAI. I also take live classes at Mysore, which is near to Bangalore. With this brief introduction about myself, let me straight away start our discussion on this subject. Now, there is a paper called as paper 4. Okay, so before that, in those who are doing CA intermediate, they have two groups, group 1 and group 2. Both of this group consist of four papers. In group 1, there is one paper called as taxation. In group 1, there is one paper called as what, sir? Taxation. In the taxation is divided into two parts. One is direct tax, and the other part of this taxation is what, sir? Indirect tax. I will be taking care of this indirect tax part of your syllabus. Direct tax consists of 60 marks and indirect taxes consist of 40 marks. I'll be covering the entire indirect tax portion, which is just of 40 marks. Now, talking about your exam pattern, I think that it will be very early for me to talk. But still, I'll just tell you give a brief introduction. The exam pattern which you have will be, which is 70% and 30%, meaning any paper which you are writing, 70% will be descriptive and 30% will be objective, MCQ based question. Anyways, with regard to this, we'll discuss in future, or there will be a separate video which I'll be making about the exam pattern only, how to attend, etc. That is something which I'll make you available on a later period of time. As of now, let us concentrate on our subject. So there is this paper called as what, sir? Paper 4, taxation paper, which has two parts: direct taxes, indirect taxes. Direct taxes is for 60 marks and indirect tax is for 40 marks. I will be taking care of what? Indirect taxes. In your indirect tax syllabus, please note, there are different types of indirect taxes in India. There is something called as excise duty. There is something called as value added tax. There is something called as goods and service tax, GST. There is something called as custom duty, etc. There are all these different types of indirect taxes, but in your level, at this intermediate level, you will have to learn only about one particular indirect tax, which is goods and service tax. You will have to learn only about GST, which is goods and service tax. In this GST also, there are different acts. There are totally 5 different acts under GST. Sir, should I learn all these 5 different acts, sir? No, you don't have to learn all these 5 different acts. There is only one act which is applicable to you at this level, which is Cgst Act. So there is the Cgst Act 2017. That is the act which is there in your syllabus, and you have to learn only whatever is there in the Cgst Act. Different provisions under GST which is there to you is taken from this particular act. Okay, so I think the course discussion is done. What paper you have, etc. that is done. Now, sir, who should take this class, sir? Who should take this class? Now, before telling who should take this class, we should know what are the amendments, because GST is a new law. What government keeps on doing is every month, every 2-3 months, there are a lot of amendments, there are a lot of changes which is made in the law, there are a lot of circulars which is passed by the government, there are a lot of notifications which is issued by the government. Now the question which a student gets it, whether these notifications, these circulars, these departmental circulars, these amendments which is made by the department, the government, will it be applicable to me in my examination? A normal student will have this question, whether this particular amendment, the changes which is made in the GST law, whether this will be applicable to in my examination. So for that I would like to answer that. So if you are a person who is writing exam in May, okay, normally as per the institute guidelines, all the amendments, all the circulars, all the notifications which were passed by the government, which were issued by the government 6 months before your examination, will be applicable to you in your examination. So all the changes which is made in the GST law 6 months before your examination, that will be applicable for your attempt, whichever attempt you are writing. So for example, if you are writing in May 2021, then for you I'll go 6 months back from this date. What is 6 months back from this date, sir? 31st October 2020. So whatever changes were made before this date, whatever changes made before 31st of October 2020, all those changes will be applicable to you in your attempt. So all the changes which is made after this date, sir, they are not applicable to you. They are not applicable to you. Okay, sir. Sir, what if I am writing in November? Again, the logic is same, the concept is same. If you are writing in November, go 6 months back. Go 6 months back from the attempt. So your attempt is in November. 6 months back is what, sir? 30th of April 2021. So all the changes which were made, all the amendments which were made, all the notifications which were issued by the government till 30th April 2021 will be applicable to the students who are writing in November. This follows year on year. Every year it is in the same format, meaning every year if you are those who are writing in May, all the amendments which were made till 31st October 2020 till 31st October will be applicable, and those who are writing in November, all the amendments or notifications which are issued by the government till 30th of April will be applicable to your syllabus. So sir, our question is, who should take this class, sir? You are conducting this particular class. Who are the students who should take this class? So this class which I am taking is exclusively for those who are writing the examination in May 2021. Why, sir, you are telling this? Because all the amendments, as on the date of recording this class, all the amendments which were made by the government before, all the amendments which were made by the government up to 31st of October 2020 are included. So the material which you are going to get, is the amended material which will consist of all the changes which were made by the government as on 31st October 2020. Then, so this is exclusively for those who are writing in May. Sir, but I am a person who is writing examination in November 21, sir. So should I not take this particular class, sir? Should I not attend this particular class? Should I not take this class, sir? Now, those who are writing in November can also take this class. Why, sir, you are telling this? Because what happens is, normally a student will have a mindset that let me complete my course 6 months before examination, and after that I will just do revision. I'll just give a reading. So whatever different types of courses which is there, whatever different subject you are going to learn, you'll feel, say if you're writing in May 21, you'll feel that okay, by end of 31st May 2021, let me complete all the classes. Which I am required to take. After that, I'll get a period of 5 months time. For this 5 months, I'll just concentrate on my studies. And I'll write my examination. So there are two types of students. One type of student who take classes 4 to 5 months before their examination. The second type of student who start taking the classes one year before their examination. So sir, can we November students also attend the class? Definitely you can also attend the classes. So then what about the changes which will be made from 31st October 2020 till 30th April 2021? What about these changes, sir? These changes which will be made by the government during this interim period, I will release an amendment video. Okay, I will release an amendment video which will be available in my YouTube channel. There is a YouTube channel called as CA Dilip Raj Purohit J. Okay, CA Dilip Raj Purohit. So this YouTube channel, CA Dilip Raj Purohit J. On this YouTube channel, I keep on uploading videos with regard to amendments. I keep on uploading the videos with regard to your examination, meaning once you have written the examination, the question paper analysis I keep on making. I keep on uploading the revision videos, etc. in this particular YouTube channel. So you can go to this YouTube channel for the videos if you want to see all these amendment videos. So those who are taking class now for November examination, they can refer this amendment videos. Apart from that, what our institute does is, what ICAI does is, ICAI has its own material. That material, ICAI will release that material normally 6 months before examination, or 4 months before examination, 3 months before examination. So along with this material which ICAI gives, sometimes once a year ICAI is updating their material. So what they keep on doing is, they give a statutory update in that board of study portal. They will give a statutory update, meaning whatever changes were made in the law for last 6 months, or every 6 months they keep on giving this statutory update. So this is the amendment which is made in this law. This is the amendment which is made in the law. So we will be covering these amendments also, whatever statutory updates which are there, because these are the amendments which will be applicable to you in your examination. See, there are a lot of amendments which will be made in the GST. Am I supposed to read all the amendments? Answer is no. You should read only those amendments which are applicable to you at your level. You should read only those amendments which are applicable to you at your level. So for referring that, we can go to this statutory updates which is given by ICAI. So our discussion on your course introduction is done. Our discussion on your amendments, how will it be taken care, etc., that is done. Now one more question which you as a student may have is, sir, what are the different materials which you are going to get? What is the course duration, etc.? Now this course which I am doing will be completed in 60 to 70 hours. Okay, depending upon the changes which is made by the government, this course will be completed in 60 to 70 hours. We'll also be solving the questions topic wise. We'll also be solving the questions. Then the material. So what are the different material which I am going to get? You will get two materials from my side. One is the chart material. One is the chart material which is called as Dilip style. And one is my GST material, the entire GST material, which is called as Dilip's material on GST. Now Dilip's style means what, sir? Dilip's, this is enough. This chart material which is there is of 21 pages. The chart material which I am going to provide to you is of 21 pages. This chart material, I have summarized each and every chapter, each and every topic in a single page. This will help you to revise the syllabus on real-time basis. Within a span of 5 minutes, you will be able to revise the entire chapter. So see, normally what happens is, by seeing books, students feel very irritated by seeing the if I see they take the institute material, it is of 400 pages, 400 to 500 pages. The GST material is only of there are 2 modules, 1 module is of this pages. So by seeing the material, our interest is gone completely. Will not feel like studying only. So student will always feel, okay, if there is something which is in a which is given in a summarized manner which I can study, if the material is very small, then I will be able to read it on a frequent basis. By seeing the material, our thinking changes. So this chart material is only of 21 pages. It covers the entire syllabus. It is not that it covers only, say, here and there some topics are there. No, entire syllabus is covered. During our discussion also, our classes also will be taking the classes through the chart material only, so that you understand the importance, so that you know how this material is prepared, and whether is there anything else which I should read apart from this chart material, etc. So the chart material is there, which is of 21 pages, and we have that GST material. Now this is the GST material which you are going to get. So this is the GST material. Chapter wise, the GST material is there. Sir, will I get this material in color format? Sir, yes, definitely you will get this material in color format. Now each and every chapter, I have used different colors. So this is chapter number 1, this is chapter number 2. So each and every chapter which is there, I have used different colors in the chapter. Because I have made it theme based, so if it is a single color, the student will feel, oh, one day color, or it is only one color only, what will I understand, etc, etc. So it is made theme based, so every chapter will have a different color. You can either see the headers and footer for seeing the chapters, or you can directly see. So if there is one say green color, that green color is talking only about chapter number 1. If there is this blue color is talking only about chapter number 2. So you will not get confused. If you are opening a page, you will know, okay, this particular topic consists of this chapters only. Similarly, the chart material also I'll show you. The chart material which we have. So this is the chart material. See, in this entire single page, I have covered the entire introduction with regard to GST. And the second topic, supply under GST, entire page. See, the way I have written, no? The way this material has been made, it covers all the important points which you are supposed to write in the examination. Now normally you would have seen, if you read a particular topic, there will be theory of 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 pages. Okay, it's a particular topic, a particular section will have 3 pages theory, 4 pages theory, 5 pages theory. In examination, you will not know what to write. Should I write all these 5 pages? They'll ask a question for 5 marks. Should I write all these 5 pages? There will be a problem which you will feel that what should I write in examination? You would have also heard teachers telling that writing the entire theory is not important. Write the important points which is there. Write all the highlighted points, whatever important point is there in that particular topic, you will get full marks. So this material is prepared in that manner. This material is prepared wherein each and every topic, what are those important points which you should write in the examination. If you write this much, the provision of the law is completely clear. The law is completely clear and you will get sufficient marks in your examination. Each and every topic is covered in one page. Okay, anyways, this by as and when we are discussing, we'll just go through it. Okay, so discussion with regard to course is also done. Discussion with regard to the material is done, and the amendments also is done. Now about these videos, I'll tell you one point before I start the videos. These videos which I am making will be of 1 hour 30 minutes. Each and every video which I make will be of 1 hour 30 minutes. Now the reason why the videos are kept in this length is because there is an restriction, technical restriction for uploading the videos. We cannot upload a video which is more than 5 GB, sorry. If a video is more than 5 GB, the uploading cannot be done in that particular portal where we are uploading, etc. So that uploading cannot be done. So all the videos which you are going to see will be restricted to 1 hour 30 minutes, or it can be for a lesser period of time also. Sir, why is a lesser period of time? Say there is a topic which I am completing. So it has taken 1 hour 20 minutes to complete a particular topic. Now there are only 10 minutes. In that 10 minutes, I will not start a new topic. For that new topic, there will be a separate video. Okay, so with this brief introduction, I think let us straight away start our discussion on GST. Let us start our discussion on chapter number 1, GST, Introduction and Overview. Sir, what is GST, sir? Ayo, sir, what is GST? Sir, before that, tell us what do you mean by indirect tax? Sir, what is indirect tax? Sir, before that, tell us what do you mean by tax, sir? We are new to this word, sir. We are new to this word of taxation. Please tell us what do you mean by tax? See, what happens is, from our 10th standard, when we go to our PUC, if you have taken commerce as your subject, if you would have taken commerce, then there are different new subjects which you are seeing. For example, accounts. Accounts is completely new to you. It is completely new to you. You would have never learnt about debit, credit, etc. in your 10th standard. So it is something which is absolutely new for your examination, for your course, etc., commerce syllabus. So learning that from basics is very important. If you learn that from basics, you will start loving a particular subject. Similarly, the GST also, let us start from the basics. Let us know what is tax, what are the different types of taxes, then we'll come to the GST. We'll not straight away jump into GST. And one more thing I'll tell you before starting the class. Trust me for this subject. Okay, you should trust me for this subject. By end of the all the videos, or by end of this completion of this entire course, once you complete the entire course, you will be very confident of this subject. I guarantee that you will be very confident of this subject, provided you follow whatever I tell. Provided you follow whatever I tell. By end, say one day before examination, if you follow whatever I am telling, one day before examination, you will not have to study only. I will make this subject very simple to you. I will make sure that the subject is at tip of your tongue. Whatever topics are there in your syllabus, whatever topics are covered at your level, all these topics will be at tip of your tongue. Any person in the middle of the night, if he is waking up and asking you what do you mean by supply, you will be able to tell what do you mean by supply, including the section numbers. I'll make the subject so very interesting and so very clear to you all. Provided you should follow what I tell. Every day half an hour is sufficient for my subject. You do what I tell and you will be able to remember this entire subject. Okay, now let us start discussion on taxation. What do you mean by tax? What do you mean by tax? Now, I'll tell you before, see, normally I have a habit of telling stories. So I'll tell you a small story. One day what happened was, me and my daughter, see, whenever I draw like this in our entire course, this person with two horns is me. It is always me, and other people I can draw in any other manner. So one day what happened was, me and my daughter, we were I took my daughter to a park. She was playing. She played different games, sliding games, that seesaw, etc. She played different games in the park. Now after playing, while we were coming back home, she asked me a question. She asked me a question that, father, 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 tell me, daughter, tell me, father, who has constructed this park, father? I am playing games every day. I go every day. We play for 1 hour. Who has constructed this park? Who has installed all these different playing materials over there? Who have installed all these different materials over there? Who is taking care of this park? They are cleaning this park on everyday basis. Who is taking care of this park, father? I told there is a person who is appointed. That person takes care of all these things. Okay, father, I understand. But who is paying the money? I understand that there is a person who is cleaning, there is a lady who is cleaning the park, but who is paying money to them, father? Who is paying money for that cleaning? Father, we are walking on a road. Father, we are walking on a road. Now, who has installed this road? I never saw you installing this road, and I have also not installed this road. Who has installed this road? Father, you know, father, you would have seen, father, outside our house, there is a light. There is an electricity light which is there outside our house. Now, father, who has installed that electricity light? Who is paying electricity charges for that electricity light? We are paying whatever charges, whatever electricity is consumed by us on monthly basis, we pay. But who is paying the invoice, whatever bill is generated, whatever electricity is consumed outside? Father, there is government schools. Father, there are schools where you get free education. Where you get free education or education at a very low cost. Now, who is meeting the expenses? Who is paying the teachers who are teaching over there? There are hospitals. The hospitals which provides free facilities. The hospitals which provides facility at a very low cost. Who is meeting their expenses? How are doctors coming to that location? There are army people. There are defense people, army people who are taking care of our health, who are taking care of our entire country. Now, who pays them? Obviously, they are making sure that everyone in the country is safe. Who is the person who is paying them, etc.? That was the question my daughter asked me. Obviously, a very small kid asking a very big question to me in life. So I told, see, beta, what happens is, each and every individual who are there, each and every individual like me, like you, we are paying this amount. She's like, father, I am paying the amount. I am small, father. How am I paying the amount? No, beta, you don't understand how you are paying. I'll just explain you. See, you are purchasing a chocolate, no? Yes, father, I am purchasing a chocolate. I love this Kinder Joy chocolate. I love this Lay's chips, etc. Now, whenever you are purchasing a chocolate, government collects the whatever amount you are paying to the government in the form of the chocolate, say 10 rupees chocolate you have purchased, the government also will collect an amount for maintenance of all these different things. The government will collect an amount from you for maintenance of all these different things. So father, but I never paid that amount. No, yes, you don't directly pay. You don't know that you are paying this amount. You purchase the chocolate. The person to whom you are paying the money for purchase of the chocolate, the shopkeeper, he will pay the tax to the government on behalf of you. So you are the person who is contributing for all these different expenses which is made by government. Father, it is only me. No, not only you, all the people of the country. We all contribute for all these different expenses. There is an infrastructure facility. There are roads, there are bridges, there is government schools, there are government colleges, there are government hospitals, there is defense, etc. All these different expenses which is met by government, which the government is meeting, whatever expenses incurred by government for all these different facilities provided by them, the government is collecting the money from us. The government collects this money from us. This money which the government is collecting is called as tax. It is in the form of tax. Government collects this money from us in the form of tax. That is the basic overview of tax. What do you mean by tax, sir? Now, tax is defined as a pecuniary burden which is laid upon individuals or property owners to support the government. It is a payment which is extracted by legislative authority. It is a payment which is extracted by legislative authority. It is a pecuniary burden. Sir, what do you mean by this pecuniary burden? It is a monetary burden which is laid upon individual. It is something which you have to pay in money, something which you have to pay in cash to the government, which is laid upon individual for different activities which is conducted by government. Sir, is this tax paid by us? Is it voluntary payment, sir? Am I paying it voluntarily to the government? No. It is not a voluntary payment. For example, sir, I go to Akshay Patra. As I know that they provide free food facilities to schools, midday meal programs, etc. are there. So I give some donation to them. Is tax in that form, sir? No, tax is not in that form. There is a charitable organization. I give some donation to that charitable organization. Is tax that is it in that form, sir? Answer is no. Tax is not voluntary contribution which you are making. I made a contribution during this COVID period. I made a contribution to PM Care Fund, sir. So is this the contribution which is made by me to the PM Care Fund? Is that tax, sir? No, this is not tax. Then what is tax? Tax is a compulsory extraction. It is an enforced contribution. There is a law which is made by the government, and as per that law, the government is asking you to pay some money. As per that law, the government is asking you to pay some money. That money which the government is asking you to pay, that money which the government is collecting from you is called as tax. So tax is not voluntary payment. Tax is not, sir, it is not a voluntary payment or donation, but it is an enforced contribution. It is an enforced contribution which is exacted pursuant to legislative authority. There is a legislative authority which is there, which is governing and collecting this amount from us. Now, sir, we understood what do you mean by tax, sir. We understood what do you mean by tax. Now let us see what are the different types of taxes. There are two types of taxes. So now, as the understanding of tax is clear, we'll see what are the different types of taxes we have. There are two types of taxes. One tax is direct tax. The another type of tax is indirect tax. Direct tax, indirect tax. What is the difference, sir? What do you mean by direct tax? What is this indirect tax? Direct tax is something which you are directly paying to the government. If there is some amount which is directly paid by you to the government, that is direct tax. That is direct tax. Indirect tax is an amount which is not directly paid by you. It is indirectly paid by you to the government. Sir, what are you telling, sir? You are telling something which I directly pay to the government is direct tax, something which I am indirectly paying to the government, it is indirect tax. What is this nonsense, sir? Yes, that is true, that is true, that is true. Meaning, in case of direct tax, what happens is, the person who is paying the tax and the person who is suffering the payment, the person who is paying and the person who is suffering that payment is the same person. Is what, sir? Is the same person. But Whereas in case of indirect taxes, the person who is paying the tax to the government and the person who is actually suffering it is two different person. They are two different person. The person who is actually making the payment of tax to the government and the person who is finally suffering that payment, the person from whom this money is taken by the payer, are two different person. These are two different person. So in case of direct tax, what happens is the incidence of the tax and the impact of the tax, the incidence and the impact is on same person. The incidence and the impact is on same person. Whereas in case of indirect tax, the incident and the impact is on two different person. It is on two different person. I'll just explain you this with an example. Example of a direct tax is income tax. The income tax which you pay is example for direct tax, and the goods and service tax, the GST which you are paying, is an example for indirect tax. What income tax law says? Income tax law is telling, hey Mr. Dilip, are you earning an income? Hey Mr. Dilip, are you earning an income? I say yes, government, yes, I am earning an income. Yes, I am earning an income. If you are earning an income, pay me income tax. Are you earning an income? Yes, I am earning an income. Pay me income tax. Pay me income tax. Indirect taxes. Here, there is a person who is there. Say there is a shop which is selling some provisions items. There is a shop which is selling some goods. Now that indirect tax says, hey Mr. Shopkeeper, are you selling something? Are you selling something? Yes, I am selling something. Okay, at the time when you are selling something, please collect the taxes from the purchaser and pay some tax to me. Pay some tax to me. That is indirect taxes. Now, what happens in case of direct taxes? The person earning the income, Mr. Dilip has earned rupees 5 lakh. I will have to pay income tax on it. I will have to pay income tax on it. But in case of indirect taxes, there is a shopkeeper who is selling the goods. Okay, there is this government and there is this shop which is selling the goods, and this is the final consumer, which is me. Now I go to the shop, I purchase a dress for me. I go to the shop, I purchase a dress for me. I go to the shop, I purchase a toy for my daughter. Now whatever purchases I make, the shopkeeper, I will have to pay some money to the shopkeeper. That shopkeeper will collect tax also. He will collect GST also on this purchase which is made by me. This GST which is collected by the shopkeeper, he will pay it to the government. He will pay it to the government. Therefore, over here what is happening? The person who is paying the tax to the government is this shopkeeper, but the person who is actually suffering the payment is me. The person who is actually suffering the payment is me. But whereas in case of indirect tax, in case of direct tax is what? I am only earning the income, I am only making the payment of tax to the government. That is direct tax. In simple words, if I want to tell, if I want to give you a simple real life example, you are assuming you are not feeling well, you go to the hospital. You are not feeling well, you go to the hospital and the doctor says, sir, an injection is required to be given to you. So the doctor is putting, not a doctor, new beautiful nurse, sir, nurse, yes, beautiful nurse is coming and she's putting an injection to you. The nurse puts an injection to you, you are feeling the pain, direct tax. The nurse is putting an injection to you, the pain is also felt by you, that is direct tax. The nurse is putting injection to you, you are only feeling the pain, that is direct tax. What is happening? The incidence is here, the incidence is on you, the final impact of the pain is also on you. The final impact of the pain is also on you, that is direct taxes. Whereas in case of indirect taxes, say you are going to a hospital with your girlfriend. Your girlfriend is not feeling well. Sir, you are talking about girlfriend, sir. I am a girl who is watching. So in case of girl, it is boyfriend. In case of girl, it is a boyfriend. See, whenever I give example, I will give it from my angle. Okay, I am a boy, so I will give it from my angle. I will keep on telling girlfriend. So you can take it respectively. You can change it. If you have a boyfriend, you can change it to boyfriend. If you have both, very good. Enjoy. Maza madbek life. You should enjoy life. Okay. Now I take my girlfriend to the hospital. My girlfriend is not feeling well. The nurse is putting the injection to the girlfriend. The nurse is putting what injection to the girlfriend? I am feeling the pain. Nurse is putting in. Nurse, slowly, slowly. Oh, nurse, slowly, slowly. I will tell. Correct. So she is putting an injection to the girlfriend, but I am feeling the pain. That is indirect taxes. Injection is put over there. The pain is felt over here. That is indirect taxes. That is indirect taxes. Now, I just remember a small incident in our school days. What used to happen was, say I was a very naughty student in my school days. So obviously, naughty student means teachers would have obviously beat us. So there was a PT teacher. He always used to beat all of us. So what we used to do was, now he used to say like this, he used to beat, or on the other side he used to beat. So whenever, say for example, if there are 10 students to whom he is beating, and if you are the 10th person, though he is not beating you, you will start feeling the pain. He is beating someone else. You'll start feeling that pain. That pain, no, that is indirect tax. Though he has not beat you, but you are feeling the pain. That is indirect tax. Once he beats you, you'll feel the pain. That is direct taxes. This is something which is not related to syllabus. Okay, I hope you have understood what is direct tax. Direct tax, incident impact, the person who is paying and the person who is suffering the payment is same person, whereas indirect taxes, the incident and impact is on two different person. Okay, so what do you mean by direct tax? Direct tax, the payer of the tax and the sufferer of the tax is one and the same. It is the same person. Whereas in case of indirect taxes, the payer of the tax is not the sufferer of the tax. In case of indirect taxes, sufferer of the tax is not paying the tax directly to the government. Here, that is, the impact is on one person and the incident is on another person. Similarly, in case of direct tax, impact and incident is on same person. So see this. So this girl is directly paying the tax to the government, that is direct tax. This girl is paying the tax to the government through a shopkeeper. It is indirect taxes. Then direct tax which are there, no, they are income based tax. Whatever direct taxes you are paying to the government. In India, we have only one type of direct taxes, which is income tax. We have only one type of direct tax, which is income tax. Before we had something called as gift tax, etc., but now it is not there. Sir, but in income tax there is income from other sources where we tax gift also. No, yes, that is taxable under income tax only. Income from other sources. Before, no, before Andre sir, before 2000 there was one type of tax which was collected called as gift tax. Which should I know, sir? No, ignore. So this income tax which is there, that is an example for direct tax. In case of direct taxes, the taxes are based on income, whereas indirect taxes are on commodities. It is on goods or services. It is on goods or services. If you supply any goods, if you supply any services, if you sell any goods, if you provide any services, then the indirect tax is required to be paid by you. Then direct tax which is there, it is the rate of direct tax differs from person to person, whereas the rate of indirect tax does not differ from person to person. The rate of indirect tax is not differing from person to person, whereas the rate of direct taxes can be different from person to person. In simple words, if I want to tell, direct taxes are progressive in nature and indirect taxes are regressive in nature. In case of direct tax, what happens? As and when your income is increasing, they will start collecting more taxes from you. But in case of indirect taxes, I don't care how much you are earning. I don't care what is your income. You will have to pay the same amount of tax to me. You will have to pay what, sir? The same amount of tax to me. Sir, what do you mean by this? Say for example, so there is a beggar, okay, and there is Mukesh Ambani. Now, is the income of beggar and Mukesh Ambani same? Is the income of beggar and Mukesh Ambani same? No, sir. Assuming in a year, beggar earns rupees 1 lakh and in a year, Mukesh Ambani is making around 30,000 crores. Okay, we don't know how much he earns, but assuming he makes around 30,000 crores. Now, there is some amount which is earned by beggar, there is some amount which is earned by Mukesh Ambani. Now, under income tax, as we all know, if your income is up to 2.5 lakh rupees, if you have already attended your income tax classes, you will be knowing this. If not a problem. So, if your income is up to 2.5 lakhs, you don't have to pay any income tax at all. You don't have to pay any income tax. If your income is from 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs, you will have to pay income. If your income is from 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs, you will have to pay an income tax of 5%. If your income is more than 5 lakhs up to 10 lakhs, the tax which you are required to pay is 20%. If it is more than 10 lakhs up to 50 lakhs or more than 10 lakhs, for whatever amount it is, the tax which you have to pay is 30%. Once it crosses 50 lakhs or 1 crores, you will have to pay surcharge also. You will have to pay some surcharge, etc. Some provisions are there under income tax which you learn under income tax. So what is happening over here? As and when the income of a person is increasing, his payment of income tax also increases. So the payment of income tax, the direct taxes, is under a concept of progressive in nature. If you are able to pay more, I will take more from you. If your ability to pay is to more, then I will take more taxes from you. So the beggar may not pay income tax, but Mukesh Ambani may pay huge income tax. The beggar will not have to pay any income tax because his income is not crossing that specified limit, whereas the Mukesh Ambani will have to pay huge amount of income tax. But this happens in case of what? Direct tax. Why? The nature of direct tax is only that. The nature of direct tax is, it is progressive in nature. It is progressive. The rate will differ from person to person depending upon how much he is earning. Whereas in case of indirect taxes, irrespective of your income, I don't care whether you are a beggar or Mukesh Ambani, I don't care whether you are a beggar or Mukesh Ambani, you will have to make the same amount of tax payment to me. You will have to pay me the same amount of income, the same amount of tax to me. Meaning what, sir? Say for example, a beggar is purchasing a Parle-G biscuit of rupees 5 and Mukesh Ambani is also purchasing a Parle-G biscuit of rupees 5. Now this 5 rupees which you pay for purchase of Parle-G biscuits is an MRP. As we all know, in bracket you would have seen MRP, it is inclusive of all taxes. So this 5 rupees includes a tax of rupees 1. Correct? So this Parle-G biscuit which you are purchasing, it includes a tax of rupees 1 in it. It includes a tax of rupees 1. Now, if a beggar is going and purchasing this Parle-G biscuit, he will have to pay rupees 5 in total. He will have to pay rupees 5, meaning he is paying this 1 rupees as tax also to the government. He is paying this 1 rupees as tax to the government. Similarly, if Mukesh Ambani purchases the same Parle-G biscuit, he will also have to pay only 5 rupees. It is not that the shopkeeper will tell, oh, sorry, your Mukesh Ambani, pay me something more. That will not happen. Correct? Irrespective of who you are, you will have to pay the same amount. So irrespective of your income, irrespective of your ability to pay, the amount of indirect tax which is required to be paid by both of you is same. Whether it is Mukesh Ambani or it is a beggar, you will have to pay the same amount of GST to the government. You will have to pay the same amount of indirect taxes to the government. Okay, so that is the nature of indirect taxes and direct taxes. Then in case of indirect tax, what happens, sir? In case of direct tax, the direct tax which we are paying to the government, India has a federal structure. The government is divided in state government and central government. We have a central government and we have different states which has their own state governments. So who will take the revenue of direct tax? Who will take the revenue of indirect taxes? The direct tax which you are paying, income tax which you pay, the entire revenue of income tax is going to central government. The entire revenue of income tax which is paid by you will directly go to the central government. Whereas the indirect tax which you pay, the revenue will be divided between central government and state government. Whatever indirect taxes is paid by you, the revenue will be divided to both central government and state government. It will be divided to both central government and state government. Then in case of income tax, there is one concept of previous year and assessment year. What does income tax tell you is, whatever income is earned by you in the previous year, pay the tax in the assessment year. There is a concept of previous year and assessment year under income tax, but there is no such concept in GST. What income tax is telling, whatever income is earned by you in the previous year. Say for example, we'll take example of previous year 1920. So whatever income has been earned by you from 1st April 2019 till 31st of March 2020, whatever income is earned by you, pay the taxes in this year. Which year? In assessment year 2021. Sorry, 2021, correct. In the assessment year 2021. Depending upon what type of person you are, there are due dates for payment of taxes. If you are an individual, you should pay the taxes by July 2020. Meaning, whatever earnings you have made from 1st April 2019 till 31st of March 2020, pay the tax to me by 31st of July, meaning you are getting a time limit to compute the whatever income is earned by you, to compute the tax liability and then make the payment. You get a time limit of 3 months. In case of company it is 6 months, etc. Whatever it is, you will study in income tax. So you are getting a proper amount of time to make the payment of taxes. So there is a concept of previous year and assessment year. Income which is earned by you in the previous year, make the payment of tax this year, that is assessment year. But whereas under GST there is no such concept. GST says there is no concept of assessment year, previous year. You are earning an income, you are selling a goods, you have made some money, pay the tax to me. Government is telling, have you sold the goods? Yes sir, I have sold the goods. Have you provided services? Yes, I have provided services. Pay the tax to me also. You say, for example, any sales, we'll take an example of GST. If you make a sale in the month of April, you are required to make the payment of tax by 20th of May. So whatever sales is made by you in April 2020, pay the tax to me by 20th of May. Whatever sales is made by you in October 2020, would pay the tax by to me by 20th of November. Whatever sales is made by you in January 21, pay the tax to me by 20th of February. So under GST, it depends, it is not on yearly basis. There is no concept of assessment year, previous year. Whatever supply is made by you, you will have to pay tax on immediate basis, or there are different periods, due dates, etc. We'll see when we are doing that respective chapter. Now, sir, you are telling that there is something called as income tax. You are telling that there is something called as indirect tax. Sir, who is making that income tax law, sir? Who is making this indirect tax law? Is Narendra Modi only directly sitting and making this law? Is Narendra Modi coming and sitting and making this law? Answer is no. The government appoints a board. The government will appoint a board. That board is going to make the different laws. The board is going to make the different laws. For example, under for direct taxes, there is a board called as CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes. Similarly, for indirect taxes, the board is CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. That is the board which is going to make the law with regard to indirect taxes. So direct taxes, CBDT, is an important part of Department of Revenue. In case of indirect taxes, it is CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. And one is progressive in nature, the other is regressive in nature. So our discussion, I hope you have understood what do you mean by tax. I hope you have understood what are the different types of taxes. Now we'll just do a small discussion on these features of indirect taxes and we'll close this particular video. Now, what are the features of indirect taxes? See, sir, we have understood the actual meaning of indirect taxes, but what are their features? What are the characteristics of these indirect taxes? The characteristics or features of this indirect taxes are: point number 1, indirect tax is an important source of revenue to the government. It is one of the main source of revenue to the government, one of the important source of revenue to the government. As we all know, the revenue, the indirect tax which you are paying, see, our discussion should be on indirect tax only. Why, sir? Because I am teaching indirect taxes, so all my discussion going forward will be on indirect taxes only. Now we are entering into the world of indirect taxes. Now we'll see what is the indirect taxes. After understanding this, then we'll go to GST. Straight away we'll not jump to GST. After understanding this, we'll see how GST came into picture, what was there before GST. Then we'll start our discussion on GST. So what are the features of indirect taxes? So in examination, can they ask this question, sir? Yes, they can ask this question. they can either tell you, the question can be what are the features of indirect taxes, or they can ask you what are the features of GST. Why, sir, what are the features of GST? Because GST is also an indirect tax. So point number 1, indirect taxes are important source of revenue to the government. Sir, what do you mean by this? It is important source of revenue to the government. Now, the most of the revenue which government is getting by way of collection of taxes, most of the revenue, on an average 50% of the total revenue which is collected by the government in the form of tax is going to them as an indirect tax. So there are different taxes which is levied by government: entertainment tax, luxury tax, property tax, municipal tax, income tax, indirect tax, etc. So there are different types of taxes which is levied by government. The maximum, most of the revenue which is going to the government is in the form of indirect tax. 50%, on an average 50% of the total revenue which is getting, which the government is earning, is by way of indirect tax only. And this indirect tax is, see, it is divided between both central government and state government. After division also, their maximum revenue is from indirect tax only. Now, in case of indirect tax, it is a taxes on commodities and services. It is a tax on goods and services. It is a tax which you are paying on commodities and services. Are you supplying any goods? If you are manufacturing the goods, pay the tax to me. If you are selling the goods, pay the tax to me. If you are importing the goods, pay the tax to me. If you are providing the services, pay the tax to me. So it is a taxes on different types of goods which are there. It is a taxes on different types of commodities which are there. Before there were different types of taxes, but now it is only GST. Now it is only GST. In case of import and export, you have to pay something called as custom duty also. Now, in case of indirect tax, what happens is there is shifting of burden happening. There is a shifting of burden, meaning whatever tax a person has to pay the government, he is not paying from his own pocket. Whatever tax a person is paying to the government, he is not paying from his own pocket. He is collecting it from someone and then making the payment to the government. He is collecting it from someone and then making the payment to the government. For example, there is a manufacturer, there is a wholesaler, there is a retailer, and there is a final consumer. There is a final consumer. Manufacturing is manufacturing the goods. He will sell these goods which is manufactured by him to the wholesaler. So at the time of selling these goods to the wholesaler, he will collect the taxes also from the wholesaler and pay the tax which is collected by him from the wholesaler to the government. Then the wholesaler will not keep the goods for himself. The wholesaler is going to further sell these goods to someone. The wholesaler is selling the goods to the retailer. When he is selling the goods to the retailer, he will collect his amount and he will also collect taxes. Whatever tax is collected by the wholesaler from the retailer, he will have to pay the same to the government. Similarly, the retailer will also sell these goods to someone. At the time of sale by retailer to the final consumer, the retailer will collect this amount from the final consumer. So what is happening? Each and every person is collecting the tax from the next person. So there is a shifting of burden. Manufacturer is shifting the burden of this to the wholesaler. Wholesaler is shifting the burden on the retailer. Retailer is shifting the burden on the final consumer. It is the final consumer who actually has to make the entire payment of tax. Anyways, we'll see all those things when we are discussing different future topics. In this chapter only, we'll see how all these different things happens, how the payment is done, etc. Then, in case of indirect tax, a person does not feel that he is paying at all. There is no perception of direct pinch. Like I gave you an example of my daughter. As I told my daughter that, hey daughter, you are purchasing a chocolate and you are paying the tax to the government. You are purchasing a chocolate because of which the park is maintained. She told, no father, I am not paying any amount to the government at all. How are you telling this? Why is she telling this? Because she has no feeling that she is paying that type of tax. There is no perception of direct pinch. Meaning what, sir? In case of your income tax, what will happen? You are earning an income of 10 lakh rupees, government is telling pay me 20% of this, government is telling pay me 2 lakh rupees. Government is telling pay me 2 lakh rupees. So you have worked so very hard and your hard earned money which you have earned, 10 lakh rupees which you are earned, government is telling give me some share in the 10 lakh rupees, give me some share in this 10 lakh rupees. So in such case, what will happen? A person will always try to show less income. A person will always try to show less income. Why will he try to show less income? Because he will have to pay less income tax. He will have to pay less income tax. Why, sir, they are doing like that? Because there is a perception of direct pinch. What is happening? There is 10 lakhs rupees in your pocket. Government is catching you and telling give me 2 lakh rupees. Give me 2 lakh rupees. Now you know that there is 2 lakh rupees which is going out of your pocket. Whereas in case of indirect taxes, if I am purchasing a Parle-G biscuit, we all have in our mind that it is of 5 rupees. If I am purchasing a Maggi, we all have in our mind it is 20 rupees. If I am purchasing a water bottle, we all have in our mind it is of 20 rupees. So in our mind, the price is fixed. In our mind, we feel that okay, this is the MRP and this is what I am going to pay. I am not paying something extra. But we don't know that this MRP also includes tax. This MRP also includes tax. Therefore, in case of indirect taxes, there is no direction of there is no perception of direct pinch. There is no perception of direct pinch. The person who is paying does not know at all he is paying such type of taxes. Then they say that indirect tax is inflationary nature. Indirect tax is what, sir? It is inflationary nature. What does this mean? Because of this indirect tax which is collected by the government, the prices of the products are increasing. Because indirect taxes is collected by the government, the price of product will increase. Say for example, there is a television. Okay, there is a television. Now there is this TV which you are purchasing. This television which you are purchasing is worth rupees 10,000. This is television which you are purchasing is worth rupees 10,000. This 10,000 worth rupees television when you purchase, government is also asking you to pay GST of 28%. Assuming the GST rate is 28% for this transaction, government is also asking you to do what? Government is also asking you to pay GST at 28%. So on this purchase of television, you will also have to pay 2,800 extra. You will have to pay a total amount of 12,800. You are paying this 2,800 extra rupees, no? Because of which what is happening? The price of this television is increasing. The price of this television is increasing. When you are purchasing this television, you have to pay 12,800 rupees. Though the cost of manufacture after making the profit also it is only 10,000 rupees. But because there is an indirect tax which is levied on this particular commodity, the price of this commodity is increasing. If the price of the commodity is increasing, it is causing an inflation in the market. It is causing an inflation in the market. Then direct tax has a wider tax base. Indirect tax has a wider tax base. So, sir, what do you mean by wider tax base, sir? Wider tax base means, if you compare this with income tax, in case of income tax, who will have to pay the tax? Only those only those individuals whose income is crossing 2.5 lakh rupees has to pay the taxes. So only those people whose income crosses the basic exemption limit, whose income crosses the specific limit, only they have to pay income tax. So it is very narrow. It is not applicable to entire India. It is not applicable to all the people who are there in India. There are 135 crore people in India. Not everyone will be paying income tax. But whereas the entire 135 crores in India are paying indirect taxes. They purchase a product, they are paying these taxes. They are purchasing some product, they are paying these taxes. So it has a wider tax base. It has a wider tax base when compared to other different forms of taxes which is collected by the government. Then they say that this indirect tax which the government is collecting, they say that this will promote social welfare. Sir, social welfare? Yes, they say that indirect tax promotes social welfare. Sir, how, sir, indirect tax is going to promote social welfare? What they say is, there are some products called as sin goods. There are some products called as what, sir? Sin goods. On these sin goods, government is collecting more indirect taxes from you. They are collecting more indirect taxes. For example, sir, say for example, tobacco and tobacco products, cigarettes, pan masala, etc. On this, government is collecting more indirect tax from you. There is a GST rate applicable of 28%, maximum rate they are collecting. On that they collect GST compensation cess, etc. of 12%, 28%, whatever rates are there. So on an average they are collecting 40% tax if you are purchasing a cigarette. So they are collecting more taxes from you on these sin goods. They are collecting more taxes from you. What government is telling is, see, I am collecting more taxes, so if the cost of the cigarette will increase, the person who is going to consume will be less. The cost will increase, the person who is going to consume is less, because he will have to pay more. If he wants to smoke, then he will have to pay more. If you are having pan masala, if you want to purchase that pan masala, you will have to pay more. So it is promoting the social welfare. It is promoting social welfare. Directly or indirectly, it is promoting social welfare. That is what government is telling. But government does not know I am increasing the cigarette cost. Government does not know that when it increases the cost of cigarette or any sin goods, okay, I'm giving an example. Any tobacco products, if it is increasing the cost of any tobacco product, they does not know that intention I will have it more. Intention I will have it more. So it is not actually promoting social welfare in some or the other way. But anyways, that is a point. It is a point which is there in the law. We should write this point only in examination. So it promotes social welfare. And lastly, indirect taxes are regressive in nature. So depending upon your ability to pay, if you are able to pay more, pay me more tax. If you are not able to pay me more tax, pay me less tax. Pay me the same. So meaning depending upon how much you are able to pay, the taxes are not collected from you. Irrespective of your earnings, irrespective of who you are, I will collect the same taxes, the same amount of tax from you. I will collect the same amount of tax from you. This is the nature of, or these are the different features of indirect taxes. Sir, there are totally how many features? There are totally 8 features. So there is a memory technique to remember these 8 features. Now I'll ask you a question. Who will win the IPL this year? Whatever here IPL is happening, who will win the IPL? Sir, I am from Bangalore, sir. So RCB will win, sir. So RCB will win, sir, is the memory technique for this particular point. RCB will win, sir. So there is no will over here. So RCB, WINSR. R for important source of revenue to the government. I'll just erase other things once. R for what, sir? Indirect tax is an important source of revenue to the government. So R for it is an important source of revenue to the government. C for it is a tax on commodities and services. RC. B for there is a shifting of burden happening. That burden of taxes is shifted from one person to another. Then W for it has a wider tax base. I for it is inflationary in nature. N for it has no perception of direct pinch. There is no perception of direct pinch. S for it promotes social welfare. And R for it is regressive in nature. It is regressive in nature. So tell me, what are the features of indirect taxes? Who will win the IPL this time? Sir, RCB will win, sir. R for important source of revenue to the government. C for taxes on commodities and services. RC. B for shifting of burden. Win. W for wider tax base. I for inflation in nature. N for no perception of direct pinch. S for promote social welfare. And R for regressive in nature. These are the different features of indirect taxes. So I'll just sum up today's discussion. Today we learnt about what is the meaning of tax. Tax is an amount which is collected by the government for different facility which is provided by them. Then we saw what is direct tax and indirect taxes. Direct taxes, there is the person who is paying the taxes and the person who is suffering the taxes are same person, whereas in case of indirect taxes, the person who is paying and the person who is suffering are two different persons. Here incident impact is on same person. Indirect tax incident impact is on two different person. Then features of indirect taxes. What are the features of indirect taxes? Who is going to win the IPL this time, sir? RCB is going to win, sir. R for important source of revenue to the government. C for taxes on commodities and services. B for shifting of burden. W for wider tax base. I for inflation in nature. N for no perception of direct pinch. S for promote social welfare. And R for regressive in nature. So these are the different features of indirect taxes. These are the different features of indirect taxes, which with this discussion, this discussion, let me stop our today's class. Today's class means let me complete this video over here only. We'll continue the discussion on the other topics in our next video. Let us, the introduction of the indirect taxes, taxation, etc. Let us stop this video. Sir, oh sir, I am watching this video, recorded video, sir. I am watching this recorded because we are not attending live. Sir, what if I have any questions, sir? What if I get any doubt? How will I get answers for those doubts? Normally, all the different topics which are going to take going forward, meaning from topic number 1, that is supply, the GST which I am going to teach. This is an introduction chapter. All the examples which I am giving, all the questions which were already asked by the students when I took a live batch, etc. So they are all covered over there. So my explanation will cover, I will make an explanation in such a manner that all the different questions which a student can get is already covered. Apart from that also, if you have any question, you can contact me. Contact in the sense you can WhatsApp me on 96-2002-2004. 96-2002-2004. This is my mobile number. I am personally using this mobile number. So whatever queries you have, you can send your message over here. See, don't expect a reply immediately. Within 24 hours of your message, I will reply. Within 24 hours, that is my guarantee. Within 24 hours, I will reply. Whatever question you have on that, I will give a reply to you. So within 24 hours, you are going to get a response from me for your queries. Okay. Any other things which you have to ask, you can, let us start the subject discussion. Then as and when we are discussing different topics, you understand the different aspects, etc. So let us complete our first introduction class over here. I hope you are enjoying the classes. I hope you have enjoyed the first lecture on the indirect taxes which you are just now watched. Let us continue the discussion with other videos also. Thanks a lot.